Greetings. You're here with the super villain. I'm here with you. Doing this interview for Addiction. And I'll let you guys know a little bit about myself. What has your journey been to get you to this point? My journey to get me to this point was a long journey, I have to say. 20 years in the business, 40 some odd years on the planet. Started when I was born, my journey, and a little bit of school, a little bit of, I had 5 siblings, so it was fun growing up, and I'm the oldest. So, it was a typical family kind of situation. Always loved music. There's not much more I could say in that regard. I mean, I could go more in depth, but basically I was always a go-getter, get busy. Ever since a youth, whatever I'm interested in, I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna test it out. I'm gonna see what it's like. I'm gonna master it. I kept my focus on things that I like, though, things that are more, here and there I might have made a bad choice, but I kept my focus on things that I really like to do. Music is one of them. And I'm still doing it to this day, 40 years later. Oh yeah, the next card, right? I'm like, oh, that's it, easy. What are your top 5 picks for getting on top and staying on top? Interesting question. It depends on who on top of who you talking about. That's on top of what or who, I'm like this. I haven't yet reached the top. The top seems like, that's the goal everybody seems to be reaching for. It's a goal though that is really outside of my reach, I would say. I'm constantly striving for perfection. So what I'm doing is constantly elevating and educating myself in a way that, all right, I'm better than I was the previous day. So, that could go on forever. There's really gonna not ever be a top. I don't think I'll do it in this lifetime. So to get into the top and staying on top, I don't really have an direct answer for that. Besides, my experience. Share your top words of wisdom, proverbs, philosophies that help guide you through life. I guess you being me, right? All right. That's a good question. Well, a wise man once said, "Do you?" And that's what he told me. The nigga said, you know what I'm saying? Nigga like, you know what I mean? Yo, do you? I'm like, do you? What the, I knew what he meant. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't grasp what he said till maybe a year later. That was like the wisest statement I heard out of any book or anything I ever read or anything that could, it's a lot of wise statements, but just off the top, do you. Be yourself. And that's the best thing you could do for anything that surrounds you. Anytime you try to copy something or maybe you're not being genuine to yourself. So when he said "do you," as simple as it is, off the top, that's the wisest statement or philosophical proverb that I could think of. Off the top. Give me a couple of minutes, I could probably come with 2 more. But who inspires you? Your attitude, your style, and why? It's another good question. Short question, but a good question. I would say off the top, I'm going with my first answers here, what I'm saying? I'm getting caught off guard with these questions, so I'm just hitting you to the head with the real. Who inspires me? Man, I choose my style and why. I would say if it had to be an individual, if we was to look at people as individuals, I would say me is what inspires, is who inspires me. My style, or attitude. I try to stay neutral on the attitude tip, not leaning either way. But my style is inspired by myself. Other than that, if it was somebody outside of myself, I would say my children. I have 5 beautiful children. Ages ranging from the ages of, I think he's 8 months now, to my oldest, who is 11 years old. So all of them collectively inspire me. After me, those are the next individuals that I'll say inspire me every day. I have an 8-year-old daughter. She's beautiful. Her name is Barry, and she's, what you would say is they say it's like she has CP, what they call cerebral palsy. But it's like it's something that they use another way of phrasing it that sounds weird. It's probably why I can't remember it. But certain things that she'll say to me in the morning time when I wake up, she'll check on me, and that really, really inspires me for that day. She'll say, "You could do it, old dad," and she'll say something. She's like a tomboy kind of, like, and she inspires me. My young other daughter under her, she's 6, Niti, and all of them inspire me, be outside of me, but I see them all as a collective. So, tell us 5 things that we don't know about you. All right. 5 things that you guys don't know about me. You don't know me at all anyway. That's one. If you do, then all right, I'll take that one back. Number 2 would be, well, I drink water every day. Most people may not think, a rap guy, he drinks liquor in the morning. I drink water every day. I try to make sure I drink at least a liter of water every day. Another thing is I love flowers. I love plants, flora, things, trees, things that are of nature. I always keep flowers in my laboratory when I'm working, just to keep the energy in a certain pattern, like balance. All right, another thing that nobody knows about me. Oh man, certain ones I gotta stop myself, because I don't want you to even know, because you don't know it, so why I'm gonna tell you? That ruins it, especially for the dude who about to get caught out there. All right, let me see. I love purple. The color purple is my color. You don't know about me. I got a mean right and an ill left follow-up. So you gotta be careful. You might not know that about me, or in general, it might be obscure, kind of like you would think that. Watch out for the left. That's the main part. I love life. I mean, is that 5 things? That's the 5th one. I love life. Which track or songs or song or musical compilation inspires you, and why? Which tracks, songs, music, what inspires me musically as far as musical compilations, and why? If I had to say, it's so many different angles I could go with this answer. So many different answers that I have that from so many different eras and whatnot. But the first one that comes to mind in that split microsecond would have to be John Coltrane, My Favorite Things, the compilation that had the original version that they did live somewhere in, I think it was Paris, I think they did it. and they got a like the first time they did it, it was a classic record. First time they did it, they got like a mixed reviews, and people in the crowd kind of like, oh. They used to him doing other things, Oh, I think it was some of my favorite things. It was A Love Supreme. That's what it is. The Love Supreme compilation where he did it in Paris, and they have multiple versions on that. I have a small compilation of all the versions that he did. The live one, the one they did for the record, another version they did 2 nights at that particular venue, and you get to hear the transition. They kept it the same, really. Basically, they rocked on. You know what I mean? And then as we know now, it's a classic record. But the public at first took it. They seemed like they didn't know how to react to it. Like it was over their head or something. You know what I mean? So that's one of my favorite ones, is to see that transition. Yeah, and the reason why is, like I say, it's something that's classic now that they slept on before. So I say it's one of the oldest examples I can think about in the timeline. What was your best wow from a track? Wow meaning say again? It's like, oh, I was like, what was it? I got you. I know. I'm just playing. I like hearing your voice. All right. What's my best word wisdom from a track? From a track meaning a song. I'm guessing, right? It would mean a song music-wise, a lyric in a song. A word of wisdom from a lyric in a song, I would say, in my opinion, shut the fuck up. At some point, shut the fuck up is the best words of wisdom that really, alright, look, it was said, I forget what record, but somebody said that shit, shut the fuck up. Multiple people probably said it in multiple genres right now. I know, the terminology, it's kind of like, excuse my French, but shut the F up, right? It's very important. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I say that is, you got 2 ears, 1 mouth, 2 nostrils, breathe, you know what I'm saying? Breathe and listen more than you motherfucking talk. To talk shit, niggas talking all goddamn time, shit like that. You're not even breathing that much. You talking more than you breathing and listening. So shut the fuck up you might have to edit that one out or beep it or something, but just coming from the heart, that's the best, the lyric, that, the track, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's a future track, I'm gonna write that shit. If it ain't out yet, I'm gonna write that one. I got another one called Feel Balls, but I don't know if it kind of encapsulates the whole thing. It's basically the same thing. Like, yo, shut the fuck up, feel balls, ball skin. Refer to Born Like This, scroll number 3. What would you recommend others read and why? What book would you recommend others read and why? Okay, I got a couple of different, I'm a reader, and I read all types of different topics. I would say there's a book I'm reading presently. That's why it's the freshest in my mind, so this happens to be up front. It's a book called Why Darkness Matters. Why Darkness Matters. And at first the title was a little misnomer. It might sound like something spooky or airy, or why darkness. That's just that's just something to throw you off. You know what I'm saying? Darkness refers to melanin. It's something that all human beings have in their body. It's a substance that's produced by the body, and it's produced in the brain mostly. Regardless if you're black, white, Chinese, everybody possesses melanin. Now the book is written by, it's a compilation of writers, Dr. T. Owens Moore, Richard, forget his brother's name. Dr. Richard King, and there's another sister that whose name is in the credit. I forget offhand. But the whole book is about why this dark material that exists in everybody's physiology, why does it matter and what does it do? It's talked about minimally in the medical society, and as far as the public knows little about it. You hear melanin, and you thinking, oh, it's black people think. Oh, melanin is a very, very, the substance itself is very multi, it adapts to any situation and anything. And it exists in the brain, the part of the brain called the substantia nigra, neither here nor there, but it exists in the brain in the parts where it enhances how you think. So, I'm halfway through the book, but that's a book that I would say, that's why I read it. This is very important to all human beings, that information. What's the craziest thing you've done to pursue your dreams? I guess I should read this to myself before I read it out loud. Because now I'm like, okay, I'm trapped into the question. All right. What's the craziest thing you've done to pursue your dreams? It's hard to answer that question. Reason being, I'm like, I never was a pursue your dream type of individual per se. I'm like, go get it, like just do it. You can skip the dream. Like to me, I skip the dream part. Just go, think about it, do it. You know what I'm saying? So, the craziest thing I had to ever do to go get it, I mean, that ranges. And it varies, and as time passes, it doesn't seem as crazy, or it may seem more crazy. So, I don't know. Every time I set my mind to do something, I would say, anytime I set my mind on a goal, whatever it is that's in the way that's within moral and ethical, like reasoning, I stay at it and go at it. So it's like straight shot. The straight line being the path of the righteous, which it translates in Arabic. It's Suratul Mustaqim, the Sarat they call it, the filament. It's the path. It's the Siratul Mustaqim, the path of the righteous. It's not easy to balance on that string though. It's a lot of discipline involved, and morals, ethics. But if you keep within that path, you'll hit your goal. That's the most direct path to any goal or so-called dream that you could ever have. Your goal should be your dream. I can see the lining of the question. Your goal should be your dream. It's the best way I can answer that one. What are your coping strategies for when things are not going quite so well? And do you have any relaxing techniques that help you find balance? Balance and techniques was the kind of relaxation with techniques is the tricky part. But I get it. I get the question. Well, quiet time is usually the best remedy. I try to, when I feel like things might not be going as planned, or there's always a bigger plan. Sometimes we don't know what the next play is. We don't know what the next card is, and it's unfolding before us. And sometimes we walk into that, and that was the best plan. Actually, all the time that's how it goes. So when I perceive that things might not be going so well, I remember that. I remember that there's a grand plan for one that I don't know about, and there's parts of this that I'm just walking through, and I'm doing my part, and there's other beings doing their part, and there's ancestors that are there they're doing their part. So I'm in a physical body. I can only notice what my eyes, my ears, and my five senses could detect. So, I try to just be silent and be quiet and sit down somewhere. I tell my daughters the same thing. It's nap time. When they start getting rowdy and they get like, and they crying and it's nap time. Take a nap. Only 10 minutes. They don't know about how to count 10 minutes. Only 10 minutes, okay. But that little break is necessary. Being that we're a human, there's a lot of stress out here and things are distracting. They can tend to take us off square. So just breathing and just taking a break from everything and sitting down, quiet time. Which reminds me, as I think about my daughters, what it is, it's the word I was thinking about. It was, they call it, now I forget again. Special needs. That's what it is. They call it, now I gotta make a point right here. They call certain children special needs children. It always behooved me why they call them special needs. I'm like, okay, all children are special needs children. Like, okay, so some children, they can be a little more like lackadaisical or what you do for the motherfucker. But if this nigga is, in case of my daughter, right? Yeah, she's special needs, but she still gotta do her chores. She still gotta, and she still gotta make her bed in the morning time. You know what I'm saying? A special need, maybe, actually she do everything herself. So when beings come to this terrestrial plane, we all come here as a brand new being. We're all babies born. We don't really know where we are, and we have some kind of guidance, whether it's your parents or whoever you were born into the guidance of, and you learn and you grow and then you figure it out. So you always would need help. So all children are special needs children. That's why I wanted to make that point. The next question is, what's going on with you at the moment and what's in the pipeline? All right, I'm constantly working. It's a never-ending battle, you know what I'm saying, going on and unfolding, so it's so numerous, it's albums upon albums. It depends when you hear this recording. I mean, I just finished the EP I was working on. Well, actually it's an album at this point. Bishop Nehru, young fella, good head on his shoulders, you know what I'm saying, very, very talented MC, and that's wrapped up pretty good. It came out really, 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 really well, and to me it's one of my favorite records to this date, that out of all the records that I did or heard, right now it's the freshest, newest one, so tends to be, when you do a good record, it tends to be the favorite, right? Down the pipeline, there's something that's been in the pipeline for a while, but like I say, by the time you guys hear this interview, Mad Villain would already came out. It's done already. It's up to the label when they put it out. That's like, little like, label stuff that sometimes causes a delay before the populace actually can hear the record. Then there's the Doom Starks record I'm doing with the great Tony Starks, Ghostface Killer, Wu-Tang Clan, you know what I'm saying, my Wu brothers, big up. And that's again in the pipeline. It's been in the works for a while. It's basically done. It's just, the business side of it sometimes makes things take longer, delayed reaction. And it's, unlimited. I'm working on the next Doom record, a bunch of instrumental records. I'm working on, I'm working with his brother, Joey Badass. You probably got to beep his name out. I'm not supposed to be saying. Is ass a word that you can't say? Like, well, isn't a nigga name, so is nigga a word you can say when you say? Oh man, we get it. But Joey Badass, what I'm talking about, I'm producing his EP. That's it's in the works right now, just starting out, but by the time you hear this, it'll be done. You know what I mean? These young cats is go-getters, and I'm very, very impressed with the younger brothers that's coming up in the game. They know how to do it. I can sense that. And I'm glad that there's a generation right under us, or like really with us, You know, really they're my oldest son's age. My oldest son is 22, actually. So these guys are my oldest son's age. I'm proud of these guys. I'm proud of my son too. He don't rhyme or nothing, you know what I'm saying? He skateboard. He like a, you know, that's what he do. He's very good at it. I see the same energy in these cats that I work with.